This is Community Connections, community talk for community people. It is the fastest and most friendly weekly 1 hour talk show in the Great Lakes Bay, Saginaw area. I'm glad that you tuned in this afternoon for another sharing of community talk and information. Today's Community Connection show is brought to you by the Saginaw branch of the NAACP and its Youth Council, where there's also AXO.
Yeah.
Okay. We urge you to get connected, be and informed and stay involved. I'm Joyce Harvin, your host for this show. And on today's Community Connection show, my guest for the first half hour is attorney Janae Lamar. And I also have with me Kanika Owens Robinson, and we're going to be talking about the expungement fair that is taking place soon over at the NABE. Yes. Now, I know that I got to talk about the NABE right now, just for a few minutes. All right. So the NABE, if for those of you who don't know, is the neighborhood house.
Absolutely.
Renamed.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the NABE and what kind of programs that you have over there. Now, you are the director of the board of directors, right, or something like that.
Director of programming.
Director of programs. Okay.
Thank you, Joyce, for having Janae and I on. We're so excited, and so many reasons to be excited. And the first one is just the programs that we are implementing over at the NABE with the new organization structure, and it has been pure joy for me. So we're doing a little bit of arts with Naisha Clark Young.
Okay,
she's been working with our seniors and our youth.
Good.
There's 2 articles coming out real quick too on them, and they're making a quilt. So it's a lot of art that they're doing over there, and it's art therapy. So not just it's therapeutic. We have some fitness going on with Ultimate Fitness with the seniors, and then we have youth tutoring. We have done some holiday parties. We have a hip hop hooray.
Hip hop.
Hip hop hooray Easter event coming up on April 1st. I think I might be more excited about that, so I can go dance with the kids. I'm thinking I'm going to get sat down, but just a lot going on. And then the reason why we're here, the expungement clinic.
That's right.
And we are partnering with some great organizations on that event, and we are excited. So just my Link Sisters, the Tri-City chapter of the Links, World Outreach Campus, Saginaw County Clerk Vanessa Guerrera,
yes.
Attorney Jeremy Tatum, and Aite Sowa, as well as attorney Janae Lamar.
Hey, it's my girl here, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just one of many programs that you have.
Yes.
Why is this important that you put this program together right now? Have there been changes? And maybe Attorney Lamar can tell us about those changes. What changes have taken place, let's say, in the last year and a half or 2 years?
And I'll say this first, and I think it for me, I'm one of those that didn't know what I didn't know about expungement clinic. I knew the importance of it, but yesterday, the more time I spend with the attorneys and Ms. Sheila Ray, I'm learning more. And I wanted to say that because that's one of our pieces are getting the information out, because there are a lot of moving parts, and they're good parts to this one in particular, because there's fee waivers. And there's fee waivers and more fee waivers. I wanted to say that, but Janae has totally been schooling me on this.
So tell us about some of the changes.
Oh my goodness.
And tell our listening audience what they should do. The expungement fair is going to be Saturday, March the 4th at the NABE. Okay. And this is, in big letters, is your criminal background keeping you from getting a job or denied housing? This is where you need to be on March the 4th.
Yes, it's open to the public. It would be far more beneficial to register by March 1st, which is the deadline. That will give us the opportunity to put together a packet that includes background check, waivers for the filing fees and all of that, and help the attorneys put together the packets beforehand. But as far as expungements are concerned, I'd say even going back the last decade, there have been a number of changes in legislation that has allowed more people to qualify for expungement. Before the two most recent legislative changes, you used to be limited to 1 felony and 2 misdemeanors, and out of those 3 charges, only 1 could be expunged. And so the expungement statutes are far more liberal now. First, we had the change which allowed unlimited misdemeanors and allowed for different traffic and driving misdemeanors to be expunged. And then we also had the increase on the felonies as well, because we went from 1 felony to 3. So there's a maximum of 3 felonies. In some instances, 3 felonies may be reduced to 1. It's called the 1 bad night rule, but that is a very tricky exception. And so the attorneys will be on hand to address, whether or not the 1 bad night rule qualifies. But
1 bad night.
1 bad night rule, yes. But fast forwarding to now, what we have is still unlimited misdemeanors. First time DUI offenses qualify for expungement, which is huge because, you may have had an indiscretion and then the DUI is on your record seemingly forever. And so now that we have that very liberal change, it makes an impact, and people are able to get these offenses expunged and qualify for employment, housing, and other things that would otherwise require background check and prevent you from being able to proceed.
Now, before we opened the mics and came on, I was asking about whether or not, if your record is expunged, those little marks on your record are gone away. If that will change anything with your driving record or with your insurance, will that change how housing will look at a person, public housing especially? Will that change? And will or how do the housing people know, or the insurance companies know, that this expungement fair has taken place and they need to get ready for maybe an influx of people who need their services, be it housing, be it employment?
So getting an expungement is not a perfect process. What I advise my clients and others that I've helped is to always maintain your order. Once you have your hearing and the judge does set aside your order, keep that in your records, preferably email. I think everybody has an email address linked to their phone, so you can just pull it up. There are instances where after an expungement is granted, you may have a background check ran, and that offense may still reflect as if it's still there and valid. Most organizations will allow you to provide proof that the conviction has been set aside. And when I say set aside, that means expunged as well. But expungement is the term that everybody uses interchangeably. And so concerning driving records, there are agencies in the state that still maintain record of these offenses. A set aside does not mean that it's that you're exonerated. It doesn't mean as if it goes away as if it never happened or that you're cleared from it. It basically means that it's just hidden from the public, and that agencies, when they do background checks, they won't be able to see that. But the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, I think even the prosecutor, they're still able to see those offenses for whatever, the law requires. But as far as your driving record is concerned, it still may reflect as an offense, but you're not going to be barred from housing or, education or public benefits or anything else that would require a background check.
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
I probably know the answer to this, but maybe someone else may not know the answer to. And again, welcome to Community Connection. So you're on camera there, Facebook. What's the difference between an expungement and a sealed record. And people say, you hear on TV all the time, your record's been sealed, they can't look at your sealed records and whatnot. I heard what you said there, certain agencies may not do it. It's like a credit report,
Yes.
If you don't check all three, you may find something that's still there from whenever, and you thought it was all clear until you go to buy a house and say, oh, they found, X, whatever. What's the difference between an expungement and a sealed record, if there's any difference?
So,
You can talk to the mic there.
So sealing, it varies by state. Usually when a record is sealed, that means that it's hidden from the public. And I think that's general across the board. The expungement, I guess, would kind of be similar to having a record sealed. So that I guess some people use these terms interchangeably. But pretty much, I think the distinction for people to understand is that whether the record is sealed or expunged, however a state's law dictates to what happens with this process, it's hidden from the public. It's not, removed as if it never happened. So it's still there. But pretty much the whole goal of the expungement is so that people can qualify for employment, housing, and whatever else they need to be okay.
Okay.
I hope that answers the question.
Well, I'm just looking for, when someone says the records were sealed, does that be the same thing as permanently gone? But
right.
If my record was sealed with something that I did, I'm thinking, okay, I'm good to go moving forward. It's not this monkey on my back for the rest of my life. But when you suddenly have an infraction with the law, whatever it is, well, you did so-and-so in 2000, whatever, but that record was sealed. So the person now loses faith in the justice system because they say, well, what's the point,
And you know what? Super valid point made. I'm hoping that maybe the legislation will start taking into consideration. I won't use the word exonerate because that means you didn't do it, but basically sealing them and kind of like throwing them into the sea of forgiveness, if you will, because like you said, nobody wants to run into a situation and they're like, well, I went through the process of having this expunged and then it still comes back to bite me. And I think the appropriate term for that is collateral consequences of criminal convictions. And those are pretty, I guess the best way to describe it is like the byproduct of a criminal conviction after the fact.
Well, let's talk about timeline. How long will it take for an expungement to take place and get on the records? How long does that take? And then if that record is sealed or not sealed, but you're exonerated, why will it show up? I mean, is the technology not here yet to do this?
Can I piggyback on that question too? Can you also on a job application say that you did not do a crime? If they ask you, have you been ever convicted of a crime? Your record's sealed or expunged or exonerated.
Yeah, what do you say?
What do you say then? Because if you say no, are you lying or you just,
No, you'll say no. But if for some reason it pops up and they inquire about it, you let them know that the conviction was set aside, and then they will more than likely want to see that order, and you just furnish it to them.
So teach them the right terminology, what to say, how to speak,
right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So because that's very important. That's very important.
Yes.
If you say no and then it comes up, if they hired you, they're gonna bring you back and put you out.
Well,
you gotta go through all of
because by law it's set aside, and that's the whole benefit of it. I'm applying for this expungement so that I can, freely seek employment without having the barrier of being questioned and, judged by a past indiscretion. And so
timeline.
When very few residents in Michigan qualified for expungement, you could get this done in a month. Now that, oh my goodness, hundreds of thousands of people qualify for expungement now, the Attorney General's office is inundated with these requests. And so there are a number of agencies. There's the local prosecutor, there's the Attorney General, there is the court, there's your attorney, and I'm missing somebody.
Did you get the AG?
Did I get the AG? Okay. And so all of these agencies and entities are involved in the expungement process. The main thing that takes the longest is MSP's response, because Michigan State Police has to respond to the application, and the Attorney General has to respond. And so the Attorney General
Wow.
does not have a lot of staff. And so you would get a response to an expungement in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Now it is taking months. And so it could be anywhere from 6 months to 12 months. We used to have the ability to follow up with the AG and say, hey, can we get a response?
Does that depend on the crime? Because certain crimes cannot be expunged or sealed or whatever. I ask these questions because I have a brother in prison in Texas.
Okay.
And if he ever wants to move here, or if I knew someone here to ask me, well, he was on Community Connections, Rob, you know, ask Joyce or ask Kanika, you know, talk to a lawyer is what I'll say. But you people listen to this show.
Absolutely.
I'm asking questions for them on their behalf and for my information as well.
I think it more so depends on how many convictions there are, because it used to be far easier to respond to an application with one conviction, or even the maximum 3 when it was like that. And so now you have people with unlimited misdemeanors. If you got 10 to 20 misdemeanors and 1 felony, the AG's office is going to have to scrutinize that application a little bit closer. And, pretty much they're weighing in to tell the courts, yes, this person qualifies. No, this person doesn't qualify. And one thing I'll say, I've seen the AG's office say, no, you don't qualify. And I'm like, yes, they do. And so, one of the things is being prepared to argue to the court that, yes, I do qualify. And the judges should be pretty good at being able to discern whether or not one qualifies.
I want you to talk about the process.
Okay.
What's going to happen here? But first, let me tell the listening audience who my guest is, Attorney Janae Lamar.
Yes.
And Kanika Owens Robinson. Kanika, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When this expungement takes place, all right, will the NAEP also be considering having a workshop that will teach those who have the records expunged how they need to address an employer, what they can and cannot say or don't need to say at this point? Okay. Will they be doing that? Putting that in your program?
A good question, Joyce, because yesterday we were just the attorneys, myself, Sheila Ray, Algeria Soa were on a call yesterday, just discussing the process and everything. And what came out of that was, you know what, guys, this is good. We should go live midweek and just start having more discussions on the topic. So we're going to make it a point, and poor Janae, I just recruited her for something else. So you see us together more, but we want to continue conversations like this at the NAEP. And one thing we wanted to make sure, this is a sensitive topic, sensitive situation. I put myself in someone coming to be expunged place. What would my feelings be? So we want people to understand it's confidential as much as possible. We want you to feel welcome. This is a forgiveness. It's a second chance, if you will. And we understand things happen. Sometimes they happen more than once. But we want to be in the position of being servants. And this is, why we're doing this. But the conversation yesterday was so powerful. And we were just talking, just going through the whole process, making sure we were prepared for our clients. And so, yes, Joyce, we will continue to have this conversation again midweek, or are we doing it Saturday? We're going to get back on and discuss this some more. So this is not it won't be the first time, the second time. We're going to continue and just make sure this information gets out to people, to the residents.
We're talking about the expungement clinic that is going to take place on March the 4th, 2023. Attorney Lamar said that, get your information in by the 1st, no later than sign up, register, whatever you need to do by the 1st, because there are many, many people going for this, registering for that because they want to get their records cleaned up and clear.
And I'll add, the sooner the better. There is literally no time like the present, because there are so many pending applications. When the application is actually filed with the court, the clerks are setting these hearings out months. They're months out, and so pretty much you don't want to wait until summertime or the end of the year.
What does one need to take with them, or to bring about the process, bring to the clinic, to the expungement fair?
The thing that I think
the clean slate, if you will.
the thing that I think is unique about the NABE is that they have a number of resources in place. So we're going to be able to provide iChat checks, which checks background, so that the attorneys can see, what convictions are there, what qualifies, what doesn't. We'll have records available so that we can get the records from the courthouse. Those who participate in this clinic will not have to pay for the records, which are usually $10 to $11 a copy.
Right.
Let's see, pretty much just bring yourself, be prepared to talk to the attorneys about what happened in your past, and we'll be able to handle the rest.
Okay. So they don't need to go over to the courthouse and ask them, go look this up. This is it. They don't need to do any of that.
And the key is we want people to pre-register. So there's a link on the flyer. There's a link on our Facebook page, and that is critical. The other thing too is, you heard her say the fees, and I've been careful about saying what fees, because this thing has been a moving, and every time somebody says, nope, it's going to be covered. Nope, it's going to be covered. So we are, have worked it out, and we're so grateful with our partners that most of the fees, I think all of the fees, because Janae was even, you're waiving that yesterday.
Yeah.
So we are so excited about that. But the key is making sure you pre-register. We will handle you if we have walk-ins, but the pre-registration allows that the process to be set in motion. And also, we do have limited funds, but I think it's a ample amount to take care of. However, we want everybody to get pre-registered. Another thing is, and I'm going to put our state rep, Amos O'Neill, throw him out here, because he has been working with the attorney. When I mentioned it to him in January, he is, really excited about it. He said he was at a state event last weekend talking about it. And he understands the importance of getting this done and hosting this event. And he mentioned, the first thing he says, let's get the AG involved. If we get the AG involved, then we get the expungement bus. Who knew there's an expungement bus? That goes
what happens
around.
on the bus?
What happens on the bus stays on the bus. Hopefully those records are staying on the bus. So what it is truly an expungement bus. And what that does is it opens up that this isn't a local. So we're hoping. You see me say Representative O'Neill. I'm putting him out there right now. But what that does is not only, correct me if I'm wrong, it opens it up for not just Saginaw, but now other across the state. So some of the calls were coming in, or questions were, well, I live in Bay City. What does that mean for me? We can still do the paperwork. You can still have your paperwork filled out, but you have to go file in your county, correct? But if the bus comes, I think we're taking it.
It gives us, it expands our reach, if you will. Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. This administration here, the state, the governor on down, they are doing some fabulous things for the community, for the people who voted for them, for the people they serve. And I absolutely like it. They're working it, doing some things that are going to help people be able to take care of themselves and their families, and we put this out there so you can know about it. So we're hoping that you will get registered, put it on your calendar, make sure you're there early, not late, not the end of the line, and get this going.
I think one of the neat things yesterday too is I set the time from 11 to 2, and the attorney said no, we're going 11 to 5 and then 11 to 4. So we're going 11 to 4.
Tell me those sponsors' names again.
So
mention them again. That is great.
So amazing to have these our Saginaw County clerk, Vanessa Guerrero.
Yes.
Jeremy Tatum. Aite. So, and again, one of the other things, I will put this plea out. If you are an attorney and you do have some time, we ask that you join us because we want to be able to move people in and out as quickly as possible. I think we have 4 attorneys currently that are volunteering, and this is volunteer. So I just, yesterday I was very moved, and just, that's going to be covered, that's going to be covered, that's going to be waived, and no, we're going 11 to 4. So just know that they're volunteering their time, and we are so pleased and excited to have them do this, and very appreciative.
Yes.
Janae, attorney Lamar.
Janae is fine.
Now, you were born and raised here.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and then the Saginaw community, because you went away to college.
To college and law school.
Law school, okay. And now you are back serving the community.
Yes.
People got to know you because you ran for a court position, a judge position, and didn't quite make it. So that has not set you down to have to fail. Not fail, but I'm just saying, I am so glad that you continue to work in the community. I know that you have your office, but doing this on a volunteer basis, really says a lot about you.
I mean, win, lose, or draw, there should always be the commitment to serve the community regardless. I yet have colleagues here in the county that I work with and interact with on a daily basis. And so I think those are always things to take into consideration.
Okay. This is good. Tell us about your where you practice.
Well, I have been a solo practitioner since 2017, and that is coming to an end.
So she gave me some. I'm like, are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell it here?
I can't. Okay.
She's got some exciting things upping coming down the pipeline here. So we're waiting.
And I've had varied experience. I have had the chance to do a lot of things in my time as a solo practitioner. I've actually been choking up a little bit, like, oh my God, this is really coming to a close. But we'll still be available as a resource to the community. We'll still be serving the community. I'm not going to California. So I'll yet be here. The streets is talking. No, but I'll still be here, still in my capacity as an attorney, but just a career change. And so that change will be coming down the pipeline soon.
Okay,
and still here to say.
Almost like she was listening to us outside, right? It was.
Hey.
It was hot off the press.
Oh my goodness.
It's exciting.
And I have an excellent network of colleagues. Jeremy Tatum is one of them.
And he's entering private practice now too, right?
Yes.
He's going to be opening up a law firm.
He's open. He and his partner, Uduak Ayo, they are serving Saginaw, and they've opened their practice. A number of practitioners that are skillful and that I trust to refer people to. So that network is there, and it's different for me not continuing in the capacity that I have, but definitely not leaving anything undone or a vacancy, if you will.
Okay, very good. And that training as an intern, you told me, right before we went on the air, that your first internship.
My very first internship in law school focused on expungements and what we call post-conviction matters, which means things happening after a conviction has occurred. And I learned a number of things. The first thing I learned, day one, people that have criminal convictions are not ex-convicts, they're ex-offenders. I learned, oh my goodness, so much knowledge about the ways that these offenses continue to carry on negatively after the fact. So you've served your time, you've paid your fines and fees, and once you've done the things that they've required you to do upon conviction, you can't get a job, you can't get a house, you can't get public benefits. And so, as I mentioned earlier, those are collateral consequences of criminal convictions. And so it's like, you just pretty much it's like a weight being attached to your leg, and you're just dragging on like, so
you can't get public benefits what kind of public benefits can you not get?
So, and that varies from state to state as well. Michigan, I don't think that Michigan is yet in that boat, but in
Okay.
Louisiana, if you had these criminal convictions, you
Uh-huh.
couldn't get, assistance, WIC and things like that. You couldn't get food assistance, cash benefits, and all of that.
Can you
And
vote? Can you go back to voting?
ooh, Louisiana and voting. Don't let me make something up. But there were definitely a number of states in the South where if you had certain criminal convictions, your voting rights were impacted. What I will say is that in Michigan, if you have criminal convictions, you can vote.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things that I heard the most while I was gearing up to campaign. I can't vote. Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So you see why there's a need to continue these conversations in the
Absolutely.
realm of law at the community center. So we're
Mhm.
excited
Yeah.
to continue.
All community centers should be having this buzz going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And the neighbors are leading it off.
We are so excited to be able to have the resources to do that.
Yeah, oh my
Right.
goodness. And
Right, right.
the NABE is providing a more complete process
Mhm,
because there have been expungement fairs, and it is not to say anything negative at all. But when people don't have the records or they don't have the filing fees to send to the Michigan State Police, they kind of just let it go. And so I think that the NABE will be good about making sure that people have a complete packet and that they get through the actual process and see it to the end.
Okay. Ladies, thank you for being here today
Thank you for
and
having
providing
us.
this great information for our listeners.
You're welcome.
It's not only for those who have little things on their records, but also for parents and grandparents and sisters and uncles, so that they can help, so that they can understand the process. And sometimes you break ties with family because of these type of things, but it's a way that people understand. So I hope that those of you who are listening, if you know of anyone, family, neighbor, friend, someone that just had a little problem, and now they have an opportunity to get that off of their records.
Absolutely.
Okay, please let them know and tell them that you heard it on Community Connections. All right.
Thank you so much.
Is there a website? I thought that's not the answer.
Oh, there is a website, but right now, if you can go to the and actually it is, it is easy. It's thenave.org. So the NEIGHB.org, the NEIGHB.org. Also, I just want to make one more comment. There is a license restoration. We were working to get that part in. However, there's a clinic coming or a session coming up on March the 8th, right behind us.
Yes.
So I'll make sure I get that information to you as well.
Okay.
So look out for that on our page and the website. But we're on Facebook as well. And I tend to do more updating on Facebook. So the NEIGHB-MI on Facebook, but the NEIGHB.org is the website.
Are they going to change that NABE?
Yes. That will become part of history. And I'm so excited about the history of that whole process. But, we're excited about the nonprofit piece of it and, doing more in that space.
Okay. Look for other great things coming on to at the NABE. Okay. Now, the soul food.
Yes.
That has been changed. The date has been changed
to March 11th.
Yes.
And let me tell you, we were so hungry that day. But the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was on, I mean, and I took it to the last minute.
Yes.
But the Super Bowl was throwing elbows at me. So I finally just said, okay, we will move to March the 11th. And we're so excited to taste that food. And Joyce is going to be, what did you call yourself?
I don't know.
What's the commentators?
Oh, Guy Fieri.
Yes,
I love
that's who she will be.
Yeah,
on
I'm going to
that
be
day.
like that. I had the apron and everything in the car when I went over there. I was ready. Okay. Anyway, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Attorney Lamar,
Yes,
thank you for
ma'am.
being here anytime. I'll be continuing to talk about this and letting people know.
Yes.
Okay. You are listening to Community Connections, community talk for community people. Up next, my call-in guest. They will be talking about Emmett Till and the events that just happened this past weekend. Okay. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1.
It's Straight Talk, straight with no chaser. It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, getting right to the heart of the matter, giving you all of what's happening in Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region, all at a grassroots level. Sundays at 6 p.m. on KISS 107.1.
To everyone who believes in tradition, let our team member Caitlin share one that's been at the heart of Culver's since the beginning.
In Wisconsin, we love a good fish fry, like really love. And bringing friends and family together over a fresh meal is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why we still hand batter our North Atlantic cod to order and cook it to crispy golden perfection. Sharing our Wisconsin favorites with all of you, that's what really makes our day.
Come to Culver's and get a taste of our fish fry tradition.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious. To everyone who needs a little delight in their day, let our team member Paul tell you about one of our favorite sweet treats.
Making special moments at mealtime is a tradition in Wisconsin. And what better way to sweeten your day than a blue spoonful of a Culver's concrete mixer? We handcraft our fresh frozen custard with your favorite mix-ins, so every bite is exactly the way you like. From caramel to your favorite candies like crispy, crunchy Butterfinger.
Come to Culver's and let us make your day a little bit sweeter. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
And now back to Community Connections on KISS 107.1.
Yes, you are back with Community Connections, community talk for community people. And thanks for staying tuned in to the show. I have a second guest. He's calling in on our is it the bat phone? Our studio line. KISS hotline. Okay. And he is the director, producer of the Emmett Till play that everyone's been talking about. I mean, it was so good. Wendell Parker, how are you?
I'm good, Miss Joyce Harvin. How are you?
I am doing well. I know that you love the play. I know that you're getting some rest and you're glad that it's over. But I just had to have you on to come on and talk about this event, the 3-day history. I like the way you set it up with that evening with the Reverend Wheeler Parker. You know, that was just an excellent evening. And then 2 days of play of the theater. Tell me about the experience with having your cousin. Reverend Parker is your cousin, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. And we were able to get him here. He was very surprised. He said he thought it was going to be like a little couple people that just wanted to kind of shake his hand or what have you and maybe eat a sandwich. But no, we had a really first class Black excellence and people of all colors, diversity.
It was so
in
nice.
The room, nice atmosphere, just beautiful from top to bottom. And so he was very, very impressed, first of all, and very pleased.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there was so much interest. You know, we had people of all walks of life there, Joyce. We had a person that drove from Port Austin, Michigan.
Yes.
And had an authentic photo of the Bryant store. And that meant so much to him he was so excited to be in the presence of Uncle Willow or Reverend Parker. And it was just yourself and Terry Pruitt and, Indigo Dudley. We started out as events do here in America with the national anthem, our national anthem.
Yes.
And so lift every voice and sing. And
it was a wonderful program.
It got better from there. And then Friday and Saturday we did the play, and they shared with me last night that they haven't done those numbers. They said in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they've never done those type of numbers that we were able to do with the interest that Still Emmett Till generated.
Yes.
Two sold out houses, and
yes.
Again, just total diversity with the audience. The cast was phenomenal.
Oh, they were.
Miss Gayla Douglas, who flew in from Oklahoma, my event coordinator.
Is Gayla on?
Took a lot off my plate and was just fabulous, huh?
Is Gayla there? Is she?
She is here.
Okay, good. Hey, how are you, Gayla?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for all you did, holding it down as the mistress of ceremony.
Yeah, that was nice. That was fun. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be a part of this. But Gayla, what I want to say to you is that you did a phenomenal job in putting this together, working under, the management company and with Wendell Parker Productions. It was excellent. It was just very nice, very awesome.
Thank you so much.
You did a wonderful job. Now, what is next for CC Management? Where are you going with this?
Well, for CC Management and the Wendell Parker Production, I would say the sky's the limit. We have a lot of things that we're planning and trying to work out before we actually go public with them.
Okay.
It is our plan and our goal to start a national tour of the play, and that, this is just the catalyst. Just the starting point right now, and then we're going to move forward from here. And hopefully, at this time next year, we'll be able to tell you how many cities we've been to. At least, a couple. We plan on obviously bringing to Oklahoma City and Atlanta, and back up here in our, Great Lakes region,
right,
over to Detroit.
Okay, very good, very good. Wendell, now you're a playwright. How did you start before 2014 in writing plays and producing plays?
Yeah, I did. I started writing and producing plays probably around 2010. 2010, because I was in Ragtime the Musical at the Midland Center for the Arts in 2009.
Oh, really?
Yep, and then I joined up with Sojourner Truth, if you remember.
Yes, I remember that.
Community theater with Mr. Lotta Dorsey, and was able to, she, trusted me to write a play she had been working on, to help to write a play that she had been working on. It was called A Tear for You. That was a long way back. And then we did some other shows. I did a lot of short plays. Brother Malcolm was a one-man play. Well, not a one-man play, but a short essay type of play. And then then I moved on and did the ballroom dancing capers. I believe that was in 2012. I believe that was book by Willie Richardson that he allowed me to adapt into a stage play. I just shout out to Mr. Richardson out there, hang in there, and keep on keeping on.
Right.
And then we went from there to Breaking the Silence, the Elijah Dillard story, which was another true story, tragic story. And then when we hit Still Emmett Till the first time in 2014. And so from there, I've been on stage and actually producing and actually acting. But this one was just strictly writing and directing it, and I had a strong enough cast that they didn't need me. So yeah.
Your cast members are phenomenal.
Just phenomenal. I mean, Duryea Tatum.
I'm telling you.
My cousin Willa Parker told me that of everything that he's seen, that Emmett Duryea captured the spirit of Emmett more than any other actor that he's seen in the play, that he's seen hundreds. Okay. And so and so that meant a lot to us, and the reaction from the audience, it tells the tale. So
that Friday night,
I was just super proud of that.
Yeah, Friday night's Q&A was excellent. The audience had some very good questions.
and you can see it, and that's what it's about. You know, it evokes emotion, but it evokes, you know, conversation as well, and that's what needs to happen for us to get, you know, make some progress in this America that we keep saying we take one step forward and two back. But I really feel that, you know, people that saw it, and it was, you know, really, put it nicely, really a diverse audience.
Yes,
would it be an in-based city? When I stepped out after the play and saw the makeup of the audience, I was like really blown away because it was 50-50. When you talk about, you know, black people, white people, and other, you know, races that was there as well.
Right.
Asian people there, and Hispanic people of all races and you know, genders were there, of ages, you know, young people up to people that was really, you know, took it personally to the heart and, you know, made them remember that they actually remembered when that happened, you know, and, you know, up in years now, but they remembered when that happened. So it evoked a lot of thought, a lot of emotion. It's a great weekend. Thank you for your part in it. And yeah, you're right. We're gonna rest up a little bit, and we'll be back to you as far as exactly what's and when, where, and what's next. But I want to thank my hometown of Saginaw. You know, you followed me. You went over to Bay City, and
on a cold winter night.
On a cold winter night.
Let me tell you, Saginaw showed up and showed out. Isn't that right, Gayla?
Yes, ma'am. My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, it was good. You know, shout out to all those people. I didn't get to see everybody, but
right, that's the thing. I didn't get to see everybody.
Yes, but I mean, we had a lot of people from Saginaw that came over to see that play. It was excellent.
That's right.
Yeah, the whole region, you know, Saginaw, Flint,
yeah.
Like you say, I think Detroit, they showed up in great numbers.
Georgia.
Yeah, they showed up in great numbers, and I think most of them felt entertained from the play, and as well as, you know, just to me, I just felt like the dinner with an icon was just that. It was a historic evening. But
that was a great kickoff. You guys, that was good. That was very good.
You. I just think that everybody who was in the house, you know, really enjoyed it and appreciated and know that they were a part of a historic moment.
Yes, that's right. They were a part of that historic moment. You know, that was very good. So, Wendell, what are you going to do next? Well, let me go back. You were a basketball player, okay? And you
many moons ago,
yeah. Wendell is very tall, very agile, and then you started on this path of wanting to be a writer. Okay.
Right.
So are you going to continue to write plays, original plays, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I know that you want to write plays. I know that you also work, but what kind of plays are you going to produce from here on out? You know, we should have something celebrating or remembering Emmett Till, but I'd like to see you do some other plays. What do you have in mind?
I do have some other plays that I've written, and that, you know, I just have to find time, really, to be honest with you, you know, to get them out there. Specifically, I mean, I'd like to do the ballroom dancing capers again.
Oh,
I really like, you know, and it was back in the day. I didn't really have the machine behind me to get publicity. The one people that saw it absolutely loved it, but the thing is, just not that many people saw it.
Right.
You know, that's one. There's a, you know, kind of a little fantasy adventure that I've written, kind of like a Black Alice in Wonderland called Kenyatta Land. So it's, you know, I've got some stuff in the can, as I say, and, you know, it's just a matter of finding some time to pull it, to pull it out. Got a play that I've started to wrote. Ain't No Mountain is the story of Tammy Terrell. People say, why Tammy Terrell? Because I liked Tammy Terrell as a little boy, and I always thought that she was very underrated, and I wanted to write a play about her. So, And so we got a few things that I've been working on, and we're gonna see where Steel and Material takes us. We do have a couple serious opportunities in other parts and regions of the country to travel to play, and that's what it does. Not that I would think I could ever get as big, but something like Hamilton, that went from place to place for a while and sold everybody else. So we're just gonna see where it can take us, and in the meantime, there's an opportunity to do something else in the interim. We'll certainly be looking at that.
Will you do auditions for your next play whenever it is, wherever it is?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, I will. So
I think Saginaw holds a number of people.
Communicator, and I'll be coming to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you will be the first to know.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, did Reverend Wheeler leave the area?
He did.
He did. Did he go to church today? I forgot to ask him to come to my church. Tabernacle.
What happened is that they kind of got word in Flint, and he ended up going to Flint for a church that his sister used to live here, and his sister went to a church in Flint. His sister lived in Flint and worked at GM for years.
Okay.
Before she moved back, so they was able to snag him today over in Flint, which is fine. I mean, which is fine. So he went to Flint today, and now he's probably either home or very, very close to home.
Okay.
Because he actually traveled by car. He and my cousin and other two cousins, his brother Milton and sister Elaine.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so, how many books? I know you asked me about being able to get some more books through Amazon and get them here right away. Someone did. Mm-hmm. Was his book signing and sales a sellout on Thursday?
It was. He sold every book that he bought here. He signed them and sold them, and people were lined up to get them and happy to get them. They wasn't expensive. I think he charged $30 for a hard
copy. Yes.
First edition, second edition, whatever. That's a great bargain. He signed every last one of them. So, I mean, I would encourage people to pick it up. It was A Few Days Full of Trouble. And the subtitle is long. I can't remember what it is off the top. But a few days full of trouble by Reverend Wheeler Parker, and you're gonna have some good reading. And one of the things that made me happy was one of the younger young men told me that not only was I entertained, but I was educated. The name of it, Joyce, is A Few Days Full of Trouble: Revelations on the Journey to Justice for my cousin and best friend Emmett Till.
Emmett Till, I tell you.
Reverend Wheeler Parker Jr. and Christopher Benson. So pick that up.
Yes. Yes, still Emmett Till by B. Wendell Parker. That's who I'm talking to. He is the director, and the music director was Dan Burns. Everyone knows Dan. He is an excellent musical artist. Excellent.
His music helped carry that play, gave it a whole feel. I mean, it gave it the feel of a Broadway type production. I was very proud of that.
Very good.
He did a wonderful job. Also, all of my tech people, Romello Franzioli, Jahari Essex, everybody, Damon Johnson, my prop and light director. So it was a team effort. My team stepped up and made us look good, and we were happy about that. People liked it, and we were happy.
Demetria Drain.
Demetria, that's right.
Yes, she played part of Mamie Till.
That's right.
Excellent job. She had it all together. But I cannot tell you how good. I can't make people understand unless you saw it how good Duryea played that part. He was really just excellent. Yeah. And for you not to have had auditions, but you knew of his work. To have him. Excellent choice. Just excellent choice. His mom should be proud as well.
Yeah, she put a lot of work into him, and she by her being in the drama business, so to speak, in Saginaw Valley and other stuff that she's done. I mean, you heard it. A couple of my actors in this was, gave her a lot of credit for, her training them in her academy this past summer. So
now that's the EVOC Productions, correct?
That's right.
Yes,
that's
acting
right.
and training. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Very good.
It was very, and the entire cast, Joyce. I mean, the entire cast just knocked it out.
Entire cast.
And my Anglo-Saxon friends, or just hey, my white buddies that acted in that was totally opposite of those roles. I had to convince every last one of them that they could do it.
That
they didn't want none of them wanted to do it initially because they didn't like the language. They did, but I mean, you have to tell. This is the story. I mean, this is what we do, and this is how it was, and and you can't sugarcoat it. And so it made me make the decision to open that casket and let the world see. So she's got that kind of courage. I have to have that kind of courage to tell the story accurately as well. Yeah.
What they did to him, to kill him and disfigure him, and that was awful. And the way that it was described, just everything, Window, it was an excellent production.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you.
It really
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate being a part of it, and I'm looking forward to your other plays and theater productions. Whether it's here or across the country, I'm gonna follow. Especially if you go to Atlanta.
Like I just said, I don't care where it is and where I do it. You will be the first to know.
Okay. All right. Very good.
That's how it is with us.
All right. Yes. Gayla.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for being here and the work that you put on with CC Management.
Yes, it is our pleasure, and obviously we look forward to continuing the work and obviously being able to just get it out around the country so everybody else can see what we saw in the last 2 days. Just how great of a work it is, and the play is awesome, and we want everybody else to see it.
Right. And we want them to see the work of Wendell Parker. See?
That's right.
Wendell, I mean, you got to see this. You were really good. I told you, break leg, Wendell, and you were the director. It was just excellent. I also want to. You're welcome. You earned that. I want to say thank you to some of the sponsors.
Absolutely.
There were Hex Bar. There was Labadee Cadillac. Thank you so very much for sponsoring the NAACP, Saginaw, and the branch in Bay City. Women of Colors.
Yeah. Okay.
Bridgeport Community.
Yeah.
It was just excellent. CC Management, just excellent. Right. It couldn't have been better.
Collections out of Atlanta, DC.
Oh, okay. Yes.
National sponsor.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Gayla, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I'll tell you. Keep it up. And I look to hear from you guys soon.
Okay. Thank you for having us on.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Got to keep the community informed. Now, listen, I will talk with you next week here on Community Connections, Community Talk for Community People. Thank you to my guests, Attorney Janie Lamar and Kanika Owens Robinson, Gayla Douglas, and Wendell Parker. Thank you so very much. And much love to the Reverend Wheeler Parker, Sr. I'll talk to you next week.
You've been listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Community Connections by the host, its guests, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, Alpha Media USA, or its advertisers.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Kiss 107.1 is WTLZ Saginaw with Steve Harvey in the morning and simply the best R&B all day. Take us everywhere. Your smartphone, in your car, to work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.